A growing number of cities are recognizing that transportation shapes development. Good transit enables walkable urban development, while roads encourage sprawling development. Many cities are using rail transit, including modern streetcars, to encourage sustainable revitalization. In a recent survey sponsored by the City of Rochester, over 50% of downtown workers said nothing would convince them to take our current bus system to work. What would you do to bring alternate modes of transportation, walking, bicycling, transit, to equal the automobile as viable options to access downtown, neighborhoods, and other destinations? Tom Richards. Press the button.
Thank you. Maybe I was doing better with the button not pushed, I don't know. But anyway, the alternatives to car, to the automobile in our community has to be balanced with the reality of sort of the geopolitics here. It's very easy to get around here. You can drive from downtown to Mendon in 25 minutes. And so we need to have a plan here that's realistic for our community, not, for instance, for Manhattan. But having said that, if you look at downtown today, we don't have a parking problem, we have a walking problem. There's enough parking downtown, but people don't want to walk 2 or 3 blocks to get to it. The solution to that is make downtown inviting, so that that walk is pleasant, there are other people there, you feel secure, and so you can make a reasonable attempt at that process. That's one of the reasons we're working on rebuilding downtown. Empty parks will not bring people down there. We have a city bicycling plan that's underway now, and it's an attempt over a number of years to make downtown Rochester, in fact all of Rochester, commodious for bicycling. It'll take time, it'll take effort, but it's something we have underway. I do believe that we're redoing downtown and these other neighborhood corridors where they're inviting to walk in. That's true down the street here, it'll be true when Midtown's done, it's true in South Avenue today. Those are places where people are comfortable and where they're walking today. I am, however, skeptical of putting in a rail transit system. That requires a significant amount of money, and it requires a dense population that we just don't have right now. If you look at some of the places where that's been tried, like in Buffalo, it's been a very mixed success. And if we had the kind of money it would take to do a project like that, I think there's some other things we need to do first in our community.
This is the last call for questions. Someone will be coming around one more time. Last call for audience questions. Alex White, you're up.
I'm the candidate of the Green Party. Many of you might not know what that means, but one of our goals is to look at things from a sustainability option, to try to think of what the future is going to be like, and to make sure we're building for that. Well, in case you don't know, I have bad news for you. Gas prices are going to go up, and gas prices are going to continue to go up. And we're going to have to start thinking soon about what we're going to do about that. There is a future option. We can start planning now. We can put in alternative public transportation systems that make sense. We can try to change our bus system so that instead of a hub with spokes coming off it, it's a more reasonably designed plan. We can look at things like circulating systems for downtown to move people from one end to the other. We can look at plans where we have high density to move people from our universities to downtown and some of our shopping areas. These are things that we're going to end up doing anyways. Gas prices are not going to see $1 again. We're going to have to consider a future in which there's a lot less driving, a lot more walking. And in order to do that, now would be the best time to start. As mayor, I intend to try to pursue the money that the government has set aside for rail and trolley and streetcars to try to start building slowly within our budget systems to move people from one area to the next for the future. Thanks.
Bill Johnson.
I spent a very productive time a few evenings ago with people who represent Reconnect Rochester, and they share many of the ideas that they have been discussing and debating for some time. I think that's the kind of innovative thinking that I think we need to encourage more of. And I think even that group recognizes that many of the things, some of the things, if not many of the things that it has on its list, will have to really be adjusted to economic realities. But I think we ought to really pursue those things because the future for Rochester, something Alex White said I have to underscore, the future for Rochester is not to continue to pour money into sinkholes as we've been doing to try to turn around one part of the real estate. My research indicates that we have had 27 downtown revitalization projects since the end of World War II. And if you take my class, you will be able to look at them all. I will be able to go through that list with you. 27 in the last 60 years. We can't keep pursuing that kind of agenda. So we've got to look for new approaches. But let me also underscore something else that has been said by both of these candidates here tonight. There's a new reality that we have to deal with. We're not just a city sitting up here isolated. We're part of a larger region. And we've got to do a much better job of coordinating our resources with our neighbors. We've got to really plan better so that we can essentially create the kind of smart communities for the 21st century, not trying to preserve the communities that we built in the early part of the 20th century. So there are opportunities here, and they might not take the form of a particular project like light rail, but they will take the form of new ways of exciting people about living in this community. And we can create the kind of creative community that will bring those results to fruition.